Hi, it's a beautiful Monday morning, and my name is Tosin, and I'm part of the Yes Group Norwich leadership team, and I'm here to interview one of our favorite speakers that we've had. His name is Sandy Newbigging. For those of you that don't know Sandy, Sandy is the author, speaker, teacher of mind detox method and meditation. So, Sandy, I'm really, really happy to be interviewing today. How are you doing on this beautiful Monday morning?
Feel fantastic today. Thanks for inviting me.
Great. First off, let's start off because there are some people out there that don't really know you, Sandy. So, can you tell us how you started in mind detox? Maybe a little bit about your story.
Well, basically, about 5 or 6 years ago, I was working as what I'd call a traditional therapist, helping people with some modern forms of therapy like NLP and timeline therapy and coaching skills and EFT, the tapping thing.
Yeah.
And I found myself in unfamiliar territory on retreat, a detox retreat of all things in southern Spain. And that retreat, people were working on physical conditions, and I had never worked in that realm before. And so I had to kind of adapt and meet the clients where they needed the help. And so we ended up accidentally forming a different form of therapy. I didn't know it was going to happen at the time, but that's what's happened since. So I ended up accidentally creating a form of therapy called the mind detox method, which I now I've trained people from 14 countries around the world to practitioner level, and it's a standalone form of therapy, and it helps to get to the mental emotional root cause of physical conditions, emotional issues, and life problems. And so it really does keep me busy with the books and the courses and the retreats. But what I found through my process was that it's really, really, really important to change the mind if you have a physical condition or emotional issue or a life problem. And you have the freedom to do that. However, in my own experience, in order to experience more freedom and experience more long-lasting peace, it wasn't enough just to change my mind, because my mind could come up with an unlimited number of problems that need fixed, changed, or improved. So what I've also discovered along my path is that it's also important to change your relationship with your mind. And in doing so, that you can still have that voice, you can still have the thoughts in your head, but they don't have to affect your peace anymore. I mean, how incredible is that? So that's basically what I've discovered, and that's why I then went on to train as a meditation teacher, which was like the furthest thing I'd ever think I'd ever do in my life. But it was just my passion for peace, won me over. So I ended up going out to the island of Patmos in Greece and meditating there day and night for about 10 weeks or so, and then headed off to the mountains of Mexico and did another 14 weeks day and night, and through that time really got to explore the nature of the mind and free myself from thinking too much.
That's pretty amazing. 10 weeks of meditation, that's amazing.
And that was just the first part.
That was the first part, wow. So there's more. But there was one thing that stood out when you came to Norwich on the 26th of May and you did your little tour. You gave us a gift at the end of meditation with our eyes closed. I mean, that was so powerful. I think that moved the whole room. Can you remind us of that a little bit?
The meditation with the eyes closed or the eyes open?
With the eyes open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because it's kind of, it's surprising, because a lot of people have concepts and ideas about meditation. If someone thinks about meditation, usually they have some sort of yogi sitting on a block in full lotus, bolt upright, and normally with their eyes closed. And the truth is, meditation is a state of being. It's not meant to be kept just for your 10 minutes or your half an hour once a day, or if you can manage more than that, with your eyes closed. The reality is meditation is meant to be an ongoing state, and it already is your ongoing state. It's just people are so busy thinking, they're not aware of their being, the beingness that is holding, and everything is happening within. So basically meditation can be done, and in my opinion should be done, both with your eyes closed and eyes open. Because when you're doing it with your eyes closed, your body gets to rest, gets a lot of healing, a lot of stress is released, and it's a very, very powerful thing. And you can also explore stillness, which is one of the main intentions for the meditation that I teach. But with your eyes open, you can reduce the amount of stress coming into your body, into your life. You can reduce the amount of thinking that you're doing, and you can become much more present. And what you discover is the more present you become, the more peaceful you become, because there's an underlying nature of all reality, which is a peaceful context that holds everything. Every thought, feeling, action, every single thing that's occurring in your day, it's all happening within a, believe it or not, a constant context of still, silent presence of peace.
Brilliant.
That's not something we get taught at school. I didn't get taught it at university. You know, it's a crime really that so few people know that they're walking around in nirvana. They're walking around in peace, but we're just being taught to put our attention on that which is inherently moving and unpeaceful, like thoughts and emotions and our things to do list and all the iPhones and entertainment and stuff, that we just forget that there's actually a context to everything which is already peaceful. And so really, meditation with your eyes open can help you to become aware of that presence on a more perpetual way, and it really fills up your day very, very quickly.
Interesting. That's very interesting. You know what I love? The word you said there was a state of being. So really, in essence, what you're saying, if I'm correct, is we have to become consciously aware of things that are occurring on a day-to-day basis to experience that peace. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. You know, I think I could summarize it in 4 words, which my good friend Timothy Freak, who's an author, and I went to spend the weekend with him recently, and he was saying that, you know, really it boils down to 4 words, and I totally agree with him. He was saying that, you know, you want to love being and be loving. And I just think that is like, you know, it summarizes it in 4 words, because really what my own path has been is I was a human doing. I was so busy I'd forgotten that I was beingness, that there was a being to my presence, there was a consciousness to me. I was so focused on what I was aware of, I wasn't aware of what's actually aware. And so to love being is to start to fall back in love with your own being, your own beingness. And from there, naturally you can be more loving. And so it's a combo, and it's very much tied. But if you're trying to be more loving without loving your being, it's actually quite tricky, because you can end up loving from the surface of your mind, and the mind does not really get what love is, because the mind by its very essence is very conceptual, judgmental, likes to put things in a box and tick off criteria, whereas unconditional love is beyond criteria, beyond conditions, beyond expectations. And so what I discovered is when I started to rest aware, like you're saying, rest consciously aware of beingness, naturally what comes from that is a more loving way of being. And Anthony DeMello, one of my favorite authors, in his book called Awareness, which you reminded me of, said that we're not here to change the world, we're here to love it.
Brilliant.
You know? And I love that, because quite often our focus can be on changing it. But my recommendation to everyone listening to this is prioritize learning how to love perfectly before you try to find perfect things to love. You know, like prioritize building up that how to love unconditionally muscle. From there, once you're loving life, then set about changing stuff if you want. But if you do it back to front, you'll find yourself changing life and never getting quite round to loving it. And that's such a shame. And so I'd go one step further as well from Anthony DeMello, who says we're not here to change the world, we're here to love it. I'd say we're not even here to change ourselves. We're here to learn to love ourselves. And that's one of the main benefits of the form of meditation that I'm going to come and teach in Norwich with you guys.
Well, you know what? That's such a big topic, because one of the fundamental things that I find, 1 in 5 people, 1 in 10, you ask them, do you love yourself? And the answer is always no, because they always find something about themselves that they hate. You know, my bum is too big, my ass is too big, my face is too fat, or something about them that they don't really appreciate. And what you're saying is, if we don't truly love our being, ourselves, then we can't truly love anything else, basically. You know?
Well, where it starts and ends, to be honest. I mean, when the difficult thing is if you're trying to love from the mind, like thinking yourself into a loving state, or convincing yourself, it's always going to be fake, or unsatisfying or unfulfilling love, because it's surface level and it's based on concepts and conditioning. You know, the reason someone doesn't like their fat face, like you said, is only because they through their life they've been conditioned not to love that. So we know that there is ultimately only perfection, but then the mind comes in and goes, that's right, that's wrong, that's good, that's bad, that's better, that's worse. And it starts to, if you fall over onto the worst, wrong or bad side of things, then suddenly there's dissatisfaction, discontentment, fear, and a sense of lacking and not being worthy of love. The truth is, the reality is, you are love. You deserve the totality of love that exists in this universe and within you. And so what's important to do is to start to get present. Because when you get present, you start to let go of the thinking mind. When you let go of the thinking mind and you get present, you start to recognize that, okay, there's things that I can improve, but my experience of this moment is an experience of perfection. And when you let go of the thinking mind, you also let go of judgments, and you start to experience an ability to love fully, because you're no longer believing this voice in your head that talks you out of loving.
Brilliant, brilliant. I completely like that. So tell me a little bit about what the Ascension meditation is going to be about, because that's what you're coming to teach, in essence, in Norwich. What is that about, and what's the benefit of that?
Well, if you the benefits of we're touching upon them quite a lot already. The Ascension is Ascension meditation. It's like meditation. There are a series of techniques. Over the course of the weekend, you learn the 4 techniques, and they basically help you to change your relationship with your mind and let go of the temporary stuff that we have all our attention on. You know, people tend to put all their attention on the temporary stuff in their awareness, their thoughts, their emotions, their body. And these are great, they deserve some attention, but not all the attention, because there's an aspect to you that's permanent and permanently present. And Ascension helps you to let go of what you're not, and in doing so, rest into what you've been the whole time. And what people find is when they let go of the side of the pool, you know, holding on like to these thoughts, and they let go, they discover that they float, and they're floating in literally a sea of love, the theme of this chat so far. But that love is inherently peaceful and still and full and vibrant and alive. And personally, I really feel that I started living when I learned these techniques. I know it might seem like a big extreme thing to say, but I'd been kind of walking around daydreaming. You know, I'd been walking around thinking all the time. And when I learned to ascend, it's like the blinkers, or, you know, the lens, they just came off, and it was like, whoa, you know, life became more vibrant and alive and beautiful and fresh, and I got to see the essence of people, the soul, you know, I get to fall in love all the time. You know, don't get me wrong, I have discernment, and but I'm just saying, you get to fall in love with not just people, but your life again, and I feel it's so easy for us to accidentally fall out of love. Oh, you're in a slow motion laugh there.
I'm seeing you go like that. I'm going, what's going on? The video's like all of a sudden changing.
That's so funny.
That is funny.
Oh, I think you're coming back. So anyway, you get to fall in love. Yes, there you are. You're back, but perhaps not in so much slow motion as you were just then when we were recording this. Because in my experience, it's one of the quickest forms of meditation to actually experience benefit. You know, I was doing a course up in Dundee yesterday, and a lady just started a few months ago, and she'd got busy and she'd forgotten to do it. But when she knew she was coming to see me at the course, she started to prioritize her peace again, and she'd been doing it for just 7 days as taught, and she was just blown away at how quick the results have been for her just in these 7 days. And it's very rare for people to have that type of benefit for meditation in a very short period of time. You know, we have people that come along and they can't sleep, and when they have one of the best night's sleep on the first evening using these techniques. We have people that find it hard to have good relationships, or find it hard to be peaceful, or they want to reduce stress, or they just have this eternal itch that there must be more to life than this. And really, for me, the meditation helped me to discover what I'd been missing, which was my real self, this underlying nature of reality, this beingness. And until you really reconnect with that, it's always going to feel that life's great, but, you know, it's nice, but it could always do an improvement. But really, we can really embrace the present moment so much that what's left is just fullness.
Brilliant. So, Sandy, how can people that really are going to be listening to this video and going, wow, this is really interesting and I want to be part of it? Where do they need to go to find you, and how can they register for this course that's coming up in Norwich in September 9th to the 11th, I believe?
Yeah, well, if this is resonating with you, this call, and you want to learn this, then you have to do it.
Yes.
There's a part of you that is resonating with these words, and it's because you're ripe and ready to learn a technique like this. So you need to show up in Norwich on the 9th to the 11th of September. It's going to be an awesome course. You're going to be there, Tosin?
I'm going to be there, definitely. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Cool. And so basically, you want to go to my website, minddetox.com. Mind Detox. That's got 2 D's in the middle. So it's just as it's spelled, minddetox.com. When you go there, you can read some more, but why would you? Because you've heard this, and you've learned much more from this than you can read on a website. So just go straight to the calendar. Scroll down the calendar to a little picture of me in white meditating, and beside that you'll see a course in Norwich, and just click on the Book Now button. You have to book now, and you have to fill out a booking form to get access to this, because places are really limited. So we need to make sure that you can guarantee your spot. So please go to minddetox.com, go to the calendar, scroll down to the Norwich Ascension Meditation Weekend and click on that Book Now button, and then I'll be in touch with you to give you the final arrangements, take payment, and make sure that you have everything you need to show up on the weekend. Just so you know...
How much is the weekend? How much is it?
It's £200. And for that price, we do Friday night from 6:30 till 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, then Saturday and Sunday, and you learn the 4 Ascension techniques plus all the guidance in order to use them, and get this, you can repeat for free forever. So I don't know any courses really out there that say you can repeat for free forever with any other teacher that's qualified by the same organization as I am. So that can be anywhere in the world, anywhere in the UK, you can repeat the course for free. And you'll want to, because as you start using these techniques, your experience starts to develop.
Yeah.
And your questions start to develop as well, and you literally hear different courses every time you go, because you've got new ears. So you'll take advantage of that, and you'll realise that £200 is nothing compared to the value, the peace, the love, the joy, the contentment, the fullness, and the joy in life that you can get from having a technique like this.
Brilliant. You know what? I can definitely concur with you guys. I'm going to be there, and I love you all guys to actually be there and experience it. And like Sandy just said, in life, repetition is the mother of all skills. People say if you read a book once, you haven't really read it. If you read it 10 times, then you've actually read it. Because what's going to happen is, while you're reading a book, your attention span, your concentration doesn't last that long. And you read it again and go, how come I missed that? You didn't miss it, you just didn't see it. So the more you attend this course, which is for free, by the way, once you paid once, 200 quid, you can attend for free anytime you like. The more you attend the course, the better you become at doing it. And I guarantee you want to attend it at least 10 times before you truly say, you know what, I'm there. So I'm right with you, mate.
I honestly, before I did anything else, I attended at least 10 times. And literally, as I'm a Scotsman, so I wanted to get the value for money, And so my course ended up being like probably $20 a weekend.
There you go.
It's like
absolutely.
But
essentially, you're giving people life skills almost for free.
Well, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to me. We have to cover venues and all that sort of stuff, and and have food on the table and stuff. But ultimately, this is like something everybody needs to know. This technique, I'm absolutely guaranteed. It's the most phenomenal, simple, swift path to personal liberation, as I know on the planet. So I hope you come.
Well, definitely. I think I'm going to be there. And I'll just say for last time, if you want to get onto this course, go on to www.minddetox.com and register online there, and make sure you book your place, because there are limited spaces. And I remember when Sandy was talking, he said he would like to have 10 or 15 people on the course, but literally we've got about 30 people that were interested in doing it already on our book. So if you really want to do it, sign up ASAP, make sure you book your space, and we'll see you there. Sandy, it's been a fabulous Monday morning. Thank you very much for that.
And I look forward to seeing you September 9th.
9th to the 11th, mate. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Take care. Have a fabulous day.
Bye.